welcome back everybody. This is Spaz and we finally have our next tutorial video. I do apologize, it's been like about 2 months since I did the last one and I haven't done anything after that. But that's because, to be honest, I forgot and been a little lazy. But with this crisis that's going on, I have a lot more free time, so I'm gonna get down to business and help you guys out with making these videos. Now, this is gonna be a little shorter than the one that was came out before, because I'm taking the recommendations from the comments, making it shorter, concise videos, and just so you guys won't get uh, overwhelmed with the information, and also you can digest it easier. So the three things I want to talk about, and for the humans that is build orders, and then into detail with heroes and units, and then advanced tactics. So these are the three videos that I will be posting for the humans tutorial. But for this first one, all we're going to be talking about is base layout and build orders, the two standard build orders, and what you can do from there, and what the benefits of each are, and the weaknesses of those are. Now, I'm not going to go into any more specific strategies or anything like that, or advanced tactics such as fast expansion or anything like that. Just basics to keep it short. If you want some more deeper strategies or expansions, look forward to the advanced tactics video, which will be coming out a little later down the line. So without any other further ado, let's get into this section of the human tutorial basics. In these two next clips, I will demonstrate why it's important to block off your base as a human player, and why the base layout of it is important. And before we start, the reason is because human peasants are very vulnerable, and they're easy to be killed off. So with that in mind, let's continue with the clip. So here, I go into this human's expansion to kill his peasant lines, and has no protection, no towers. It's not even blocked off. Granted, I'm using a expansion as a example. However, it still shows the same purpose. I go into the gold line and kill all his peasants because they're too vulnerable to defend themselves. Not just because they're peasants, but because they can't hide in buildings. And because they can't really run away that easily. Granted, you could turn them into militia to run away to gain that speed boost, but only at your main town hall, not at the expansion. And this next clip right here showcases the same thing, but this time he puts towers up. I still just run into his peasant line, kill them all, and also kill the towers in the same process. This time around, his allies actually show up to teleport in to help him out. But it's still the same result. I killed all his peasants and take off with little casualties. This is just an example of why it's important to block off your base as a human player. In this clip, just with the previous one where I attacked another human player and killed off their peasant, now we are in my main base that I purposely made terribly designed and wide open for the enemy to harass me easily. The green Blade Master is attacking my wood, while the yellow orc is keeping me busy by attacking my main army. Now, they are both free to walk in and out of my base without any with ease, should I say, because I cannot stop them from going in and out. However, this could have been easily prevented, no matter that there was two of them attacking me, if I simply used my buildings to block off the route to my peasants. Your buildings as a human player are your best defense tool in early game to prevent harassment and prevent attacks. They could have been attacking your buildings all you want, but human buildings have a lot of HP and armor, so it's hard for them to take down. And plus, it would just be a waste of their time. Now, in this situation, it takes an ally to help me out to get out of the situation. But as I mentioned, with the simple fact of just blocking off your base, it didn't matter that it was two. You could have easily defended yourself. Also note that I could uh, turn my militia into, turn my peasants into militia to run them away from my base that's being attacked by the Blade Master. But it would result in the same thing. My economy would still be destroyed. The Blade Master is not getting attacked. I'm too busy occupied with the Yellow Orc. So my peasants would eventually die no matter where I send them to. Or if I send them too far, it'll just slow down my economy to the point that it results in the same thing as if they were dead. I could also in turn attack the Blade Master with the militia, but the Blade Master could just walk in and out, or just run around the base that's wide open and waste my time as well. In either case, this just goes to show you that the best and safe bet is to block off your base. This is the standard build opening for humans. It is also called the Footman opening. It is easy to execute and quick as well. Now, what you want to get to is 5 peasants on gold mine, 8 total peasants on wood. You want to train your hero and train about 3 to 4 footmen total for about 24 foot supply to 26, depending on how many footmen you end up getting at the end, and then executing your plan of action from that point. So let's see the build in action. Begin by placing 4 peasants into the gold mine, queuing up some peasants at the town hall, and with the 5th peasant, build your barrack or altar. Make them also start a farm, but not finish it. Make them complete the altar or barrack you started. The next one that comes out should build your barrack or altar that you didn't build with the first peasant. Keep queuing up peasants at all times. The next peasant that comes out should finish the farm you started with originally. The one that comes out after that should also create a second farm, bringing your food supply up to a total of 24 when they complete. Make sure that you rally all your peasants on buildings to wood when they are done by holding shift and clicking on the trees. Your peasant that comes out after the second farm should go to the gold line. Rally it there, and then when he comes out, rally it back to the wood supply. When your altar finishes, train a hero. It does not matter which one, as we are not doing a specific strategy. When your barrack finishes, remember to train your first footman. It is 135 gold, so make sure you have enough to train your first one. From here, you could create a third farm to raise your supply up to 30 and not get supply blocked, which is recommended. You don't have to if you want to have a quicker tech, but it is recommended to do so. Continue training footmen when gold allows. When you have 8 peasants on wood, stop training peasants. My 8th and final peasant should come out of the town hall, and at this point I will not train any more peasants. When your hero comes out, you can begin creeping your green creeps camps, or harass the enemy hero, the enemy opponent. Same thing. Whichever you do, it is up to you. I chose to go creep. I also chose to make a arcane vault, a shop, and a defense tower to guard against harass. That is all up to you. That's optional. It is recommended to build the tower though. From here, save enough gold and wood to tech up to tier 2. And this is basically all there is to it for this opening. It's very simple and quick to the point. Keep in mind when you are doing this build that there are 3 features to it. One is that you have the ability to defend early enemy harassment easily. 2, you have the option of either teching or expanding. It's the flexibility of this build. Lastly, you have a lack of DPS early on because you do not have range units. So you do not have firepower and you don't have kiting abilities. So if you go up against range units, make sure that you upgrade the footman's defendability to give him more survivability. Begin by placing 3 of your peasants to the gold mine to collect gold. The other 2 should start collecting wood. Also train 3 peasants at the town hall and rally it to the gold mine. This way you'll have 5 total at the gold mine collecting gold and maximizing your income. The third one, rally it to the side of your town hall. And at this point, you're trying to wait and have 210 wood collected so you can start building your buildings. By the time your third one comes out, you should have the 210 requirement that you need. Remember to keep training peasants at all times. You want to have a total of 8 peasants at the end of this build order. Now, what you want to build is an altar, a barrack, a farm, and a blacksmith. If you do not have 4 to build, grab 1 from the gold mine to start building all 4 buildings. You need to ensure to do this because you do not want to delay this any more than you have to. And then retrain another peasant to the gold mine to keep it up to 5 peasants there at all times. Once that is done, re-rally it to wood so when the next peasants come out, they start collecting wood. Shift click all the ones that are building to wood so when they are done, they can immediately start collecting wood. Make sure that by the time the blacksmith is done, that you have a total of 205 gold and about 30 lumber so you can start training your first rifleman. Continue to build farms as needed at a consistent pace because riflemen take 3 food supply compared to footmen. So only 2 riflemen absorb 1 farm. Keep that in mind. When your altar finish building, start training your first hero. It does not matter which one as we are not doing a specific strategy. I do recommend training an Archmage first though, as he is the most versatile. You should also build an arcane tower to help you defend against harassment from enemies. At this point, you are waiting for your first rifleman to come out of the barracks and your hero to begin creeping the map. You can also build an arcane vault. However, it is not required. I do recommend that you build it as it will give you access to healing items down the line that you might want to use to heal your rifleman. When your hero comes out, if you chose the Archmage, I would skip going to a green camp and actually going to an orange camp instead, as you do have enough firepower to take it down, since you have water elemental, a hero, and riflemen to deal additional damage. And since they are ranged, you can focus fire units easily. Keep creating riflemen, add them to your army, and keep on creeping. Now there are some differences between features of this build than compared to the footman build. For starters, you do not have flexibility in this build order. You cannot choose between teching or expanding because you have less resources to use, such as wood and gold. They're all going towards the rifleman. You're going to have a delayed tech because of this as well. However, you can make this up by the fact that you have more firepower compared to going footman. You can shred apart light armor units and unarmored units, or low HP units in general, and melee units as well, as long as they're not tier 3. However, keep in mind that the more riflemen you add into the army, you delay your tech that much longer, but you do add that much more firepower to your army. Alright everybody, thank you for watching, and that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video or think that it was informative to you, keep a lookout for the next video. It'll be about the units and heroes and the weaknesses and strengths of the human race. It should be out next week, around this time, middle of the week. Until then, see you in the next video.